searching for the right child. Somebody is telling you what's right. Now you're going to have to decide what you're gonna do the next step you take in life.
Oh, oh, look who we have here. I was like, oh, add us to the stream. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Lara FM SPTV.
Right? No, I'm just, right?
Doesn't it fucking feel good? Ooh, oops. I should have frudgin. Did y'all hear that? I said frudgin feel good. It frudgin feels good. Hi. Thank you for being here, Liz. I know you were just on a stream with Marilyn, and that was awesome. And so, yep, got me going a little watery eye too while I was like washing my dishes. Like, oh yeah, I want to talk to Liz about that. And like, anyway, so that was really cute. I want for the people watching and listening, thank you for being here again and again. And if you're catching up and you're going to watch this in the future, thank you. I really appreciate you. We just started doing this, talking about all this shit on YouTube. I've been doing this a lot just in my physical world and my behavior and in my life, since I've mentally left, you know, like on the stage and with my music and expressing myself in certain ways where I feel like it's not about Scientology. It's about me healing myself through the things that were not given to me, right? As you can imagine as well. And so we find little pockets of fun, music or art or arts and crafty things or communities or, you know, certain things that we are filling. We're being our own mothers.
The void. We're filling the void.
Right. Right. Yeah. So for people watching, thank you for watching. Like we said, this is episode 13, Liz Ferris and Lara Anderson. It's called Talk, Our Parents at Gold Base. And the reason for that is because my mother, Diane Anderson, and her, do you go as her, by the way? I don't even know if that's a thing.
Yeah,
or
I do.
You or not. Oh, good. Okay.
I'm from an older generation.
I am too, but like,
yeah, I'm trying to get a grasp on that.
All kinds of friends. Yep. And I'm still learning and loving. That's one of my songs. Anywho. So, and Liz Ferris has her dad at Gold Base, Bob Ferris. And and you have something going right now that is hashtag where's Bob Ferris, right?
Or save Bob Ferris.
Or hashtag save Bob Ferris. And the reason, do you want to explain a little bit of that? And then I can jump in with, we'll talk when,
Absolutely.
you know, I'll kind of feed off of you. We'll feed off each other.
So that basically started as a way to draw attention to what's going on. The fact that I was told my father was dead. And now it comes out, or come to find out, you know, he's not dead. Yeah. And so now it's more along the lines of getting awareness and then getting my ass back down there so that I could do this as many times. We're going to rinse, recycle, repeat when it comes to...
Keep going. I'm just going to check something. I'll be right back.
Absolutely. So we're just going to keep rinse, recycle, repeating, and we're going to go down there as many times as I have to. You know, my partner's going to go down with me. So that way I have her support and then my peer support. So that way, you know, we're all good in the please don't let me break down kind of way. But we're just going to keep on keeping on. So that way I can easily just hopefully get him out. Or if I don't get him out, at least have a face-to-face with him and he can tell me to my face all these horrible, hurtful things. And I'm just going to say the truth. You have a religion based upon what I've been through. You're going to allow to call something a religion that tortured your daughter, that made your daughter ready to die, that forced so many horrible things upon me and one day, yes, I'll go into it absolute detail about it, but I'm still working with the therapist. So baby steps here. It's just, I need him to understand what I went through. If he still wants to stay, that's on him. I'm not going to force him without, you know, justification. But at the same time, if we get one out, we can get them all. So I want all family members, you know, again, I say this all the time. whether it's, you know, mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, aunt, grandma, grandpa, friend, cousin, I don't care. Either which way, I want to make sure that we all have a voice. If you want to come out and join us, great. If you just want to give us the information and keep yourself hidden because you don't want this bad stuff to happen to you, I'm also for that as well. Because realistically, I know what it's like to be hidden and to be undercover. You know, 2 parts of my life had 2 different closets. It was just time for me to come out of both of my closets. And that's where we stand.
Hi.
Hi.
Were you talking forever? What happened?
I was just updating everybody, whether you have like a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, friend, cousin, I don't care what it is. If you want to come out with us and make yourself known, okay. If you don't, it's also okay. Because
do you mean come out with us where?
Like
come and
come out
speak
with us.
Come and
like,
speak here on YouTube.
Tell us what's going on with your family.
Okay,
you know?
so not even necessarily come up here and be on the episode, but speak out to somebody in the SPTV community.
Absolutely.
Especially one of us that have parents like yours at Gold Base or have been through these similar things.
Yeah. Let us know who it is, and we'll do everything we possibly can.
Yeah. Sorry, my children are...
Your fur babies?
Yeah. But they're very cute, actually. I mean, we all know that. But they are actually, every time I'm like, oh, they're actually being so polite and they're being patient. It's just, I just haven't done the thing that I always do when I first come here. It's so funny. Yeah. And so that is what I want. It doesn't have to be on the channel. Why we're doing this, I like making music and art and videos and music, and I'm not interested in talking about Scientology as my whole free time. So that's a tricky word there. Free time. Yep. That's not what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of other things, but this is such an important thing for me personally, but for both of us and for the whole, it's not fair to know that we've gone through this and we know that our friends or people are in it still. They're going through it. Yep. Or they're trying to get out and they're still being manipulated by Scientology's policies. And we understand that very much. We very much do. What we would like to know is just reach out to somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's just to say, hey, I'm under the radar, I don't want anybody to know. I don't want it to be talked about on SPTV. That's fine. Just reach out and the energy is gonna we're all doing this for the same purpose and reason. Everything's going to funnel into the perfect outcome that we've all wanted. Either Scientology being completely dismantled, the Sea Org being completely dismantled, and our parents actually just having the rest of their lives out. Whatever time that is left for them, we would like. Correct. I have a lot of, I don't know about you, we'll talk about this, but I have a lot of animosity and sort of anger, but it's because I dearly, deeply do love my parents and my family. And I do feel, you know, even though we've been through all this, we know what real love is. We know what unconditional love is. And we do now, we're learning it, right? And then we have to check ourselves and go, okay, well, how can we love our parents? It's not about whether they did this for us or not, or who's right and who's wrong. And it's not, it's like, how can we love better, even if I'm still angry or if I'm still, so how can we work on that?
Yeah, that's been my whole goal with life. I understand. I'm stretching my hand out to. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, the one thing is I've always told myself, I just want to be better than this situation. If I ever have kids, I'm never gonna hurt them. I'm never gonna.
I mean, if we hurt them by accident,
I'm gonna say I'm sorry.
Yeah. Or if somebody's saying, hey, you know, you're treating your child a certain way, you're going to look at it and go, wait, am I completely not insane, but maybe I'm really not seeing something, or am I very, very, like, your kids and whatever, and if somebody's saying something in advice or out of love
I'll
and
listen.
care, we'll listen. Like, but if it's coming anyway, we'll feel it as well, because we knew what that was our whole lives. We know what it is. So it's like, you can't really fuck around with us anymore. Like,
no,
not
it's
with the
turned into
mind manipulation games.
No,
it's kind of like, no, I'm not doing that. All right, thank you. Just
yes,
moving it
please.
on. Yeah. Moving forward. Okay. So let's go. Let's talk about, so your father is Bob Ferris.
Yep.
My mother is Diane Anderson. Do you know any of the posts, the positions, the jobs that they held, that your father held at the gold base? Just when did he get there, by the way? Do you know?
So I don't know the exact date, but here's the information I do have. My dad was with his family until just after high school. After high school, he joined the Air Force. He was in the Air Force until he was in his mid-20s. And then he was a staff member directly after that. He was a staff member for 10 years. And then he's been in the Sea Org the rest of the 40.
Wow.
So he's been in for 50 fucking years.
Yeah. I mean, my mom's somewhere right there, somewhere around that. I mean, I'm 37. So she's definitely been in 37 years. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? I was thinking, I have not even lived yet. For all y'all watching, we have not even lived yet the amount of years that we were inside this completely bubble, completely separated planet of Scientology.
Correct. I'm shortly off of it.
Yeah. So like even I can seem very outgoing and strong and bold, but there's so much that is being healed and dealt with, healed and dealed. And it brings up everything. So
yeah, and it all comes to the surface, and it fucking hurts.
Right. So how do you cope? First off, I was going to ask, how do you cope, or how are you coping? How do you feel when you're feeling upset about something, or like, how do you because we're not allowed to cry. We're not. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you feel overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. And then when I'm actually crying because all of the emotion has just got to me, I feel like I'm failing. And in my head, in the back of my head, I can almost hear the get your TRs in, get your TRs in, get your TRs in. And for me, it's hard. Like I've shown emotion to my partner and not a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And then I feel like, no, I'm real. I have emotions, but I'm like, it's hard. It's hard for me. Anyway.
Yeah. One thing that kind of helped me get through, because there would be times I'd be at work or something, or somebody would say something and it would trigger me, whatever the word is you want to use. It would make me go right back into like the helpless, like, oh, I'm messing up, I did something wrong, and look, and now I can't, exactly what. Okay, Fox. She just bit her own paw or something while she was chewing a bone. Oh, maybe she cut her tongue on this little bone thing she's obsessed with. Where was I?
Sometimes with emotions.
So yeah, and sometimes with emotions, I would all of a sudden I would be like strong about my communication, and I would say what I was like needing to say to protect myself, or to just give myself the benefit of the doubt, and I would be crying, and sometimes I would just start crying, or I'd get really red or flushed, and I would say, I would just start saying, I'm not sorry about these tears. It's going to happen. I'm just learning how to like talk for myself and say what I'm feeling, whether it's an emotional thing for me or not. So I'm like, don't worry about the crying thing. Let's talk about like what's really happening. And because they see me working with that, it's like it helped me so many times to just be open, whether I was crying or being emotional or it'd come up. I would just say, I'm feeling that you're attacking me for this. Is that happening? Or is that just something I'm being triggered by? Like,
Yeah.
and they would be like, no, I'm not attacking you at all. Blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, okay, perfect. Let me go wipe up these tears and then I'll be right back. You know, like I kind of had,
Let
it
me
was
excuse myself real
uncontrollable.
quick.
Right. It was like uncontrollable. And so now it's getting better. But like even when I'm on stage singing, of course I'm singing like to my mom. These are things I wrote when I was having such a hard time not leaving like Scientology, just living my life, knowing that there's a whole other structure of my life and world that I can't openly talk about and express my suppressed emotions in.
Yeah.
And so
Here, I'll
like
tell you
when I'm on
something
the stage,
funny.
boom, yeah.
So I was talking to my therapist the other day, and we talk about everything.
Yeah.
And she's like, tell me a time that you felt unemotional, but you were emotional at the same time. And I instantly thought of a fight that Carrie and I had. And, you know, I was in the wrong, but she's screaming at me, just screaming.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, we can talk calmly and rationally. Please talk to me. Just, you can bring it down. You don't have to yell. And instantly I'm fucking TRing her. And I'm like, fuck.
Oops.
Do you do that? Like when you're getting overwhelmed?
Wow, you just brought me down my ex. I'm not with any. For the record, y'all, this lady is single, and I've been single. So somebody commented to me like, I've known the person for a while, and they said something like, "Well, it was about my van." I'm still looking, by the way, for a computer box. Either somebody who knows how to rebuild computer boxes for old or 2002 year Dodge Ram 3500 vans. Anyways, I needed the computer box, and the person said like something like, "Oh, you know, don't you have plenty of men to help you with this? Like, why are you doing this alone?" Like they were kind of saying like, I'm sure, you know, whatever. It was sweet. And I was kind of like, no, hello. I'm like, this is when I could use some help. Anywho, so why was I bringing that up?
Because when I kept trying to TR Carrie, where she was screaming at me.
My ex, I was with somebody who I had a very similar thing, and I was like doing a similar thing I'm trying to, because I'm still cleaning, not cleaning, but just healing and letting that be done fully, just not being angry or anything. But anyways, it was a similar thing where I was completely like, I felt like I was keeping my TRs in instead of, and I could feel my eyes boiling up with water and whelping. And I was trying to like, and it wasn't even, I was like, I'm keeping my TRs in, but I started to feel like it was like, anyway, so that happened so many times. And I hate that. I hate that. I'm like, now I'm keyed in, or now, you know what I mean? That's what
now
the thing goes into my
right
head.
Here.
Yep. I go right into my head and I think, oh, this is the, you know, person that they're talking about that I was going to be in a relationship who's just going to bring me down and I deserve it and da-da-da and whatever. So I definitely, that happens a lot. Or I'm like, hey, you're being not banky, but like the same mechanism. Like I'm still changing the words and like taking back what humans have put together naturally without Scientology corrupting and changing words like infinity and things like this. So yeah.
God damn it.
You got an infinity?
Look at the baseball.
Oh, that's amazing.
Why did I'm like, how did so many of us have the infinity thing?
Because infinity for me was the closest thing that I felt I understood a little bit. And I had no idea about the knowledge of the outside world's education. So when we learned about infinity, it felt like, oh, we all exist on this plateau together and we're just all doing, you know, it just felt like, and there's
It
no
hits you like a
start.
boom.
There's no start and there's no end. Create, survive, destroy, create, whatever the fuck, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
That is the world.
Okay, so I got lost somewhere with all on
No,
this on
that's
our
where you
train of
went.
I was okay.
Oh, okay.
With the
You were still on the
emotional
thing,
things
though.
and the exes and the dealing with, and so people I loved, by the way, I would say I'm upset right now, but it's not towards you. I'm being triggered by something that's making me upset. Just tell me, like, I'll just be like, can you tell me like lightly, so that I don't keep, you know, feeding myself bullshit that was fed to me when I was a kid. Can you
Mm-hmm.
talk to me lightly and just tell me what like you need or what I need to get done? And then I can plan it out in the way that my mind and my space can handle that really smoothly. But I'm
Okay.
still crying. And it's like, and so this is something I struggle with a lot. It takes me a minute to get to that point. But when I do, it's when it's so deep and hard and where I truly feel, even though it's so the other way, I truly feel that the unconditional love I do have for my mom and dad is that it's the
Yeah.
genetics that we have. Like it's our mom and
Mm-hmm.
dad. They
Yeah.
they got us out into this life. And whether
Yep.
they messed that up or we were, you know, believed to believe that we had to make them feel good and feel happy, which by the way, wouldn't you think, doesn't it seem like a lot of people have similar
Yeah.
but it just similar lives and similar stressful heart-aching problems. They're just in different religions or different situations.
Yeah. They all, you
And
know,
you're like,
they
you have
all,
to let that go.
yeah, I
You
could give
have
advice, but I'm still stuck on mine. It's like I'm stuck on stupid. And I'm like, let that go. You're an amazing person. But then I looking in the mirror, I'm kind of, there's times where I'm like, fuck,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Why can't you mean that to yourself? It's kind of like that saying, practice what you preach.
Mhm. Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
it's not that fucking easy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was just thinking of so many other things where I was like, yep, yep, I'm doing the same thing. And then I was going like how or the advice that I give my really good friends and they're always like that's amazing advice, like da 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 da. And I'm like, why don't I fucking take my own advice for shit? Like why am I not just picking this up and doing it and finishing it and moving on to the next thing instead of creating this big whole pile of mess for me? Like anywho, so it's pretty, it's we catch or I catch myself definitely finding myself mothering myself. Like
Yeah.
I'm teaching myself things that normally like I'm, you know, like I didn't know that sunscreen, for example, is it helps with wrinkles and like not getting skin cancer and all of this. But to me, I just thought, oh, it just blocks the sun. It's not, it's you're putting chemicals on your face, whatever it is. I was like, wait, sunscreen helps with moisturizing and like skin wrinkle, like so it's just little things that I wish like, oh, you know, I would have totally been chatting with my mom about this in the mirror if she was my mother,
Yep.
you know, or yeah, the acne before she, you know, like slammed it in the face. Yeah, are you on meth? I talked about this last night. I was like in the bathroom with her and I hadn't seen her in a long time. I had no money and da 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 and whatever. And she just, I was like looking, we're having like some little moment where she was like giving me some of my grandma's older jewelry. And I was like, oh, cool. And even in that, she like took a ring and she was like, oh no, you can't have that. Colleen wants that or something. Like, and I was like, anyways, I was just like, I love my sister. It's not that I don't want her to have this. It's how you just said it, mom. Like, it's so fucking entitled and listen, no, I know what grandma wants. Like, and thank you for never letting me get so close to my grandmother. So that's something that never happened. Like I never got really close to my grandmothers or my grandfather.
Yeah.
To me,
I
I'm
didn't
missing,
have
that's a huge
grandfathers.
chunk. Yeah.
Yeah. I did have my Nana. Now, my Nana was technically my great grandmother.
Mhm.
And if ever there was anyone that I could say totally like played a large role in helping me feel love. It was my Nana.
Yeah. When did
But my
she
grandma,
go?
no.
When did your Nana go?
I was 12.
Oh,
So I'm literally holding on to, you know,
yeah.
3 solid years of good memories. I mean, don't get me wrong. My mom would send me up here when they were doing stuff at the org, or when I got in trouble at security, she would send me up to visit my grandma.
Mhm.
Because I got in trouble a lot.
That's how I felt as a kid too. Just always in trouble. And
Yep.
I knew like it didn't feel like I was like trying to be rebellious. I was just like, I guess I'm just always in trouble because I'm
out
like
ethics.
active.
I
Or
would
yeah, I'm just
constantly.
out ethics. I'm just out ethics.
6 years old thinking, how am I out ethics for wanting to have a meal with someone? You know.
Yeah, why? But in our minds, we're thinking, we know that it is out ethics, but why am I doing this? And why do I feel like not bad about it?
Yeah. I don't
Like,
feel bad about it until I'm caught.
so I
And then
must be out ethics. I must be
Mhm.
out ethics if I don't feel bad about it. So you just,
Yep. It's
yeah.
that whole reverse thing. Because when my dad died, when I
Ooh,
was called and
boy.
told that my dad died,
Mhm.
I literally called my girlfriend at the time, and I'm like, okay, so I was just told this, and why am I not upset? Why am I not crying? What am I fucked up? Like, am I going insane? Like,
Right.
I'm not crying, and then it was making me more angry
Yeah.
that I couldn't cry, and I'm like, but it's my dad, but it's my dad, you know. But oh god, that day was a fucking nightmare.
I can't even imagine what there was a cadet that went to the Gold Base and this was in the earlier years. Actually, I'm just going to say Becky Hughes and Lindsay Hughes. They are kids of parents who were also at Gold Base, and they were in the execs. Their parents were in the exec strata, like WDC. Anyways, when Lindsay left eventually, and they're off, they went to Gold Base and went to the gates and basically threatened. I think it was Becky or somebody was threatening suicide. Like if they didn't open the gates and let them to see or talk to their mom. Like that's like, and I don't know how they handled that or what good little PR way they cleaned that up, or maybe they didn't want to make a scene, so they let them out, but obviously Greg Hughes and her mom they're not leaving to see her. They're just going out there to calm down their kids who have gone off
To get
the
them to
rails.
shut up.
Yeah. So do you ever think that maybe that's going to happen? Anyway, oh wait, before I get sidetrailed on maybe possibly all the things that could happen at Gold Base whenever you do that. We were saying something about the Gold Base. Oh yeah, so I'm just saying it's like there's so many kids and so many people up here who are having these exact same things. They have these big chunks missing from their emotional love and intelligence. Like it's not that it just is missing. It's
just empty.
It's been neglected, right? So it's just kind of like it wants to be filled. It wants to be healed. It wants to be understood. It wants to know why.
I like to think of it like my check engine light on emotions is just fucked up.
Yeah, like you're like, is that just like dust on the reading, or is something really wrong with my car? Is my engine gonna fall out? Am I about to?
Is my
Am
brain
I about to
fall
lose it?
off? Like,
right? Am I about to lose?
Am I going John F. Kennedy on someone, and I'm going to be super nice, and then all of a sudden, here's this other person.
Get out of here!
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was messed up.
No, yeah, no. I've had similar, exact same things where I'm just like, I'm thinking I'm coping and I'm trying to cope, blah, 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 and somebody throws one extra thing, and I'm kind of like, I'm not doing that right now. Like this is my limit. I'm not fucking nice.
Tapped.
Like I'm tapped. This is reminding me of a bunch of other stuff that's going to immediately I'm literally like, there's so many little things that can set somebody off having a PTS panic attack, and they don't even understand why. Like, they're like, I don't know, I'm not feeling good. I can't be in this crowd. I have friends right now who can't be in crowds because of
I
the
don't
trauma they
like
feel.
strangers touching me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have a full-blown panic attack, hyperventilating and all. It's weird.
Yeah. No, it's not weird. It's so relatable and understandable.
To us, it's relatable and understandable, but to people outside, it's like, why are you on the ground?
Right. And sometimes you can lose a friendship just off of that. Like, somebody's like,
Yeah.
oh, they were weird to me, right when I met them, and it's like, no, and then you feel bad, right? So you're like, oh, that was my thing. I could have just handled that better and whatever.
Yep. Let's break it down. Do you ever find yourself, when you're super emotional, white gloving things?
All the time. I don't call it white gloving.
But that's what we grew up with it called. But yeah, there's times where I'm like, oh, there's a scratch on the surface.
It's just funny. I have my white glove. I talked about the white glove in one of my episodes, so I have this to literally explain to people what a white glove is. But no, I definitely 100% immediately go to white glove cleaning, organizing, getting rid of stuff, kind of resetting my life. And that's what it feels like, which is very therapeutic. It really is good for your mind and body, and to just get out. But we were trained to do this. It wasn't a natural, loving, fun thing. And so when we do it now, I do all the time think like, oh, I'm just doing this to, get out of my head and to get back into present time and to not be overwhelmed or get reactive.
Yep.
Even though, so that's another thing is Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard stole just information from psychology and obviously black magic and all that stuff. And then said it was Scientology and changed the language of it and wrote his own dictionaries and books and wrote the most world record books and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, with print this big, it's like those real, I always felt like the really intelligent books I would pick up, like a novel or something that was so different from any Scientology like book or whatever. It was just like regular WOG novel. I would pick it up, and when it was like a really hard book to read, like way beyond my reading level period, whether it was Scientology or not, I would notice that the words would be really small, and it would be like a small, intense, really big book. And so later I realized like how big the lettering is on policy letters, and how many gaps there are, and how many, and how like, it's just so, and how like it's not like the whole page is formatted to like just be in the column and whatever. And then I hear people like, L. Ron Hubbard wrote the most books in the world, or, and I'm like, yeah, do you see how big the letters are?
Yeah. I can totally see that, because I do remember, all the Hubbard PLs, all of them, and
all the OEC balls, all the technical policy. All these are books. They're all books.
Yep, all the courses.
The child comm course, the ethics book.
Oh my God, that I did the child comm course. I got in trouble.
Did you do the basic study manual?
Yes,
the BSM.
Yep.
You learned how to learn.
Yeah, because if you've never seen a tractor and you're studying about tractors, then you'll never know what you're learning and the details behind it. And I'm like, fuck.
So Liz is referring to, in the child comm course and in the basic study manual, anywhere where they're teaching you how to learn. So they're grooming you. They're giving you a new way of schooling,
understanding school,
right? Yeah, like, so not only are they're not even teaching us like valuable things for our own health and for our own, that's going to benefit us for our future, whether it's to clear the planet or to, so they're not even doing that. And then when they are giving us any education of L. Ron Hubbard's poison policies and his poison bullshit fucking made up little of like one-liners that he just throws out there and up. That's what he says. If it's written, it's, you know, if it isn't written, it's not true. If it's written,
Oh,
read
God, I
it.
hate that sentence.
Do you remember there's a whole thing? If it isn't written, it isn't true.
It's not
and
true.
If it's written, read it. And did the person who write it have the authority or know-how? There's like all these things. It's so annoying. All these policies. There was also in OEC, I think it was OEC Vol 0. There was a policy letter. There was a poem or something, and it's always stuck in my head.
Okay.
He goes, there's so much bad in the best of us, and there's so much good in the worst of us, that it ill behooves any of us to talk about the rest of us.
The fact that you have that memorized still is amazing.
I have so many things. It's not even it's no longer, I don't need to memorize it. It's just a photo.
It's just locked.
It's just
yeah.
Which is a great reflection to show what happens when a child is still out there defending Scientology even a little bit. It shows that the fear runs all the way down, very deep, all the way to the fucking drinks that we're drinking and the thoughts that we're having while having that, or the coffee or the toast. Were you there? I had this thing at the ranch where they didn't allow the cadets to have toast, just because that was a privilege for the adults, and it would take too much time to make all the kids a piece of toast.
I actually didn't have that when I was a kid.
Okay.
Because I wasn't.
What were your restrictions? Did you
have any?
Okay. So
well, at least when it came to breakfast, we didn't get anything special. Whatever the Sea Orgs got or Sea Org members got, that's what we got. I don't like plain eggs. Plain scrambled eggs. Can't do it.
I will not
eat
them.
Honey.
I will not eat them when on a boat. I will not. Did you read the Dr. Seuss's at all?
I read a couple of them.
Wait, did you just say you can't? My brain is like this. So people wanting to comment and all that shit. Yeah. Put them up, because my brain's scatterbrained, but I will jump back and answer as many things as I remember. But okay, I forgot. There you go, scatterbrain.
We didn't have restrictions. So we didn't have a lot of the food restrictions.
But I was gonna say, like, you said there was something about eggs and honey.
Yeah. So plain scrambled eggs is what we got.
What about some salt and pepper? Is that fine?
No, my mom didn't bring it to the table, so I literally ate just eggs, just eggs, and then the people around us would be mixing ketchup in, and then I have mercy on you guys, love you. It's still, oh God, I can't do ketchup on eggs.
I think part of the thing is there are only 5 options. Like, here's your eggs, here's the oatmeal.
Mm-hmm. And here's your cottage cheese occasionally.
And you're not allowed to have sugar. And what the hell is the number 1 ingredient in ketchup? So kids are going to want it. That's why it was literally a little bit addicting. It was like, oh, we could have ketchup with our eggs. It just made it more exciting.
I didn't even think about the sugar aspect. I just felt ketchup.
I just remembered that because we weren't allowed to use the microwave at the Ant Ranch, the cadets, only the adults were. That was another special thing. And we would melt our butter out in the sun. Because it was so hot, we would go outside or we'd have the butter cube sticks on the railing melting, like, so it was slightly, and then we would be able to spread it on the bread or whatever, because we're not allowed to have toast, so the bread was like soft, so we would have like really nice melted bread. We also melt our cheese under the sun with like a tin foil or really like a metal pan, so that it would reflect more. It worked.
Well, that sounds a lot better, because I learned how to eat toast, well, not toast, but bread with hard chunks of butter in it. So now it's like when I get a fresh French bread from like a grocery store, anything like that, I will put so much butter on it, and it's like,
I don't know one. I don't know one cadet person or ex-Sea Org member or Scientologist who does not do that. Like, I love it.
People will look at me like I'm crazy.
And do not give me melted butter. Just give me the regular nice cold, just boom, so I can smear it like on like cheese.
Yep. And then people
I
stare at you
love
like, yeah,
I
I'm
don't
okay
care.
with that. Stare
I
away.
don't care. I used to sneak off when I was running, running off and trying to stay away from anyways. I used to take my dinner, run in with like chicken and stuff, get a saran wrap, get my chicken, put it in my pocket. So it's in the saran wrap and I'm hiding it. And I would get like 5 butters and run up to the orange orchard and just sit there in the grass and eating my chicken with butter and whatever
I can
else
see
I
that.
had.
Yeah.
It was so
butter was
peaceful. It was so peaceful, by the way.
yeah.
I just wanted to have not private. I just wanted to have a moment of I can eat as much butter as I want and nobody can report me.
You mean you don't want a knowledge report? Like, why not? Things that
Because-
shouldn't be?
She better not be eating no more butter.
Yeah, that butter is expensive.
Yeah, she ate 5 instead of just keeping one. She's a selfish little bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Oh
yep.
my God. So yeah, butter was the thing, not using the microwave. And then but they're allowing us, we're capable enough to wash dishes with the whole full-on machine washing. Like the machine company, the guys, the wogs would come to the in-ranch base and fill up all the chemicals for the dishwashing machine, the red, everything, the beer, like I don't remember every single one of the chemicals, but there were 4 or 5 different bleach, degreaser, heavy degreaser. And then we would shut load them up really quick, it wasn't that the physical work was wait, what?
It wasn't safe. I
worked in the not at all.
I worked in the galley for a little bit. Where we were living in Florida. Like my mom said, it's time for you to join the cadet academy, and yeah, that as soon as no, it was not safe.
Yeah, the burning, steaming, hot thing that's like starts plunging, and it's like if you get your eye. Like kids are like, oh, a silverware is going down there. And so they go down to get it and their hand like almost gets sucked in this. And then the thing comes down and it's like next dip, pull out the rack.
Yeah, you gotta move the orange and green trays.
It's coming down and the wheels going. It's just, this was normal for us.
So was cleaning a dumpster.
Oh yeah.
So was cleaning a dumpster.
Right. But like not even the jobs. What I'm saying is the physical chemicals we're using without gloves are ammonia, bleach, alcohol, Bonami. Can you name some regular? And then of course vinegar and baking soda on vinegar. Some. Yep, Comet. Anything that didn't smell like perfume was fine as a chemical.
Yeah. Like if it smelled like death, it was fine too. Because I can't tell you how many times nobody said shit about mixing ammonia and bleach. And hello, that's fucking mustard gas.
So Jesse Dunstan and Christina Webster were like fucking around as young little kids, just daring each other. And something and Vanessa Delderfield, I believe, was there. Anyway, they did a little, then they bet somebody like, oh, I dare you to drink a little bit of the ammonia. And it was just whatever. And so they kept being like, oh my God, she did. And she's like, and then the next person was like, okay, if you do, let's do more. Like, I think the kids just thought, oh, you'll throw it up at some point when it's too much. We're kids.
When
you know what I mean? Well, we didn't know. Anyway, so there happened to be some adult walking by at this time. I remember I was cleaning or something. It's like, we're cleaning. So probably they finished or they were distracted from their cleaning position, their station. And they were like saying, I dare you to drink some. No, you drink some first or whatever. Right. And somebody came in, an older cadet was like, what are you doing? What do you mean you did a dare? And basically she's like, oh, I just made Jesse drink. And so the adult, that older cadet yelled and told the adult, and the adult was like, all of a sudden, like there was like 3 of the medical mom adults, the mother, like one of the adults of one of the children, So they're obviously probably like, oh, who did what? And they made her, this is not like detailed. I just remember being like, oh my God, can't believe, oh, like it sounded like something like I would have been a part of. Like there were so many things like that where I was like, oh, we were daring people to do so many fucking weird crap that isn't taught to us. So what else is not taught to us is also the crime here. Like what we're not being given and the love and the care is it's not just like, oh, so sorry you weren't taken care of. It's like, no. There are a lot of things that we were not given just as humanity would give somebody just being born into life. And it's done on a daily basis through everything we're doing all the time. So to find people like me and you, Liz, chatting about this as younger kids and cadets in this, and Serge and Degraded Daughters and everybody, and Jenna Miscavige Hill, and these people, all these people who have said things, it only takes one or two people and most of the time somebody that you just were really close with or really appreciate or respect to tell you something. Hey, I'm not trying to attack you. This happened. I know you have a view of this and this is my view, but when you hear somebody say it with love and respect, it only takes one or two people, and that person's out. That person's like, all right, I'm done. You know, this Saturday I'm going to tell my dad, or I'm going to talk to my parents, and it is what it is, you know, and we help them make those decisions.
Yep.
So this is so cool.
It is. And it's as weird as it sounds. It's like I was a PAT kid. And then we went to Flag, but either which way, I was a PAT kid and we had each other.
What year did you go to Flag?
89. 88.
Oh,
88.
wow. And how long were you at Flag?
Well, my childhood memory is like a year or so, but I don't know because my mom keeps telling me that I'm fucking wrong. And it was only 6 months. I was a kid. It felt like a year to me.
And you know what is,
oh, it's just irrelevant.
You know what is a reflection of what Scientology does to a mother who says something like that to their daughter?
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck are you worried about a year and a half and 6 months? That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even matter. Not you. I'm talking about your mom. I would be saying that to your mom. I would be like, why? And trust me, I did say things like this to my mom. I'm like, why does that matter? It doesn't matter if he spanked me really hard in front of everybody that time, or it was the time before. I'm like, what is this about? And he's like, well, at this time he got an ethics handling. And I'm like, I don't care. Why is he still at, like, so there's these, My
moment for that was Stan. I don't know if you ever knew Stan, but Stan was an AOLA kid babysitter. He also, some of the other PAT kids went to Stan.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of him. I feel like I've heard of him. This guy, Stan. Did he do a lot of babysitting kind of near the events? Like during the events and stuff?
I don't know if he did it on the events. He might have, but he had this weird house.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times at events when I was a kid, I was with my mom. And then occasionally, if it was something big, she'd go send me with the other kids. And then everybody wants to think that we were peaceful and calm. Yeah, we were. But a few of us also escaped and thought it'd be cool to run up and down the stairs and like get in a lot more trouble.
Yeah.
But
what do you mean up and down the stairs of the event thing or of the because that was fun.
Yes, how fucking fun is that? You're running back and forth and nobody's saying stop.
It's like a free playground. You're just like, oh, and there's other people walking by and it's fun. And those people end up being like the part of the game. Oh, you got to dodge through them without being, don't bump them. You're going to get in trouble. They're going to notice. You have to have fun without getting noticed.
Without making noise.
Without, exactly. Like all the time. And that is how my mom feels right now. My mom feels that right now. I have to get permission from the ethics officer to speak to me. I have to get permission from, even Catherine was talking to her mom, saying, she was having a conversation with her finally on the phone after Catherine maneuvered ways with finding out from SPTV people how to get a hold of their mom and dad without even asking them, like, hey, mom, I'm trying to get a hold of you. At this point, there is not. She had already done that, you know, for so long.
Yep.
And then that happens. The phone gets disconnected. Right. And her mom says to her, okay, well, she's like, Mom, I wrote a book. I would really like, you know, and it's not like, it's just saying like how it was, you know, it's just so sad to feel that, because I feel Catherine wanting to have a connection with her mother. Like, I'm just, Mom, whether it's
search where you're just, it's just out
whether
of
it's
reach.
upsetting or not, let's have this connection. Like, growth is uncomfortable. We need to have this connection. Family is so important. Our genes are important. She has children. She's like, Mom, I want your grandmother. Like, you want to be a grandmother. Her mother wants to be a grandmother. She wants to be in her grandchildren's lives. That is a trap. If you cannot leave, if my mother cannot leave to come have an argument with me, if she's not allowed to do that, her mind thinks she needs to get permission to do that. Bob Ferris needs to get permission. He literally has to get permission from OSA or from the security chief or whoever is running this.
Whoever's running the shit show.
To even if he wants to say, hey, I don't want to talk to you anymore, Liz. I told you. And now you're making me come out here and say it. He has to get permission. They're not allowing it because they know the connection between a mother and a father and a daughter, a father and their daughter.
Any relative, a family member.
They can feel it because you're coming in with unconditional love. And that's what we are. We're like, and sorry, Scientology, not sorry. You're a little tough little fucker of no unconditional love. So when love comes into your dark little area, it shines so bright, you immediately say, oh, you're attacking us and you're anti-religion. No.
I don't give a shit.
We don't care. We literally don't care. Back to the love. So where's our parents? Where's Bob Ferris? Why is Diane Anderson and Bob Ferris feeling so trapped at Gold Base they can't come outside of the gates to have conversations with their daughter?
Correct. Like, and that's the worst part is like,
even in the military, what if somebody was in the military? Oh, my dad doesn't want to talk to me. You know, in the military,
you get in trouble. Better, but like, you get in trouble in the military if you do not do your responsibility as a parent, as a spouse.
It's legally illegal.
You can go to jail for fucking with that shit. People that have affairs with other military people, bye-bye, go see the brig. You know, but here it's like, oh, congratulations. Thank you for not giving. Oh, no, they're bad for you. Stay the fuck away. They're bad. You know, give me 5 minutes with my dad so that I can just be like, okay, this is what happened. I'm going to explain it to you fucking fast. You're going to think you're talking to, you know, Speedy fucking Gonzalez, but here's what's going on. Here's what you believe in. And blah, 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 blah.
I feel like, Liz, I think we all have a plan, right?
Yeah.
And I think go in strong with love and all that. Yeah. But I also think that if you can just say it to him in.
Yeah, just say, I love you.
A sentence. How about that? I love you. Come with me right now. Let's go have a pizza. We're not talking about this in front of Gold Base. Let's go have a nice meal somewhere. There's no human on planet Earth that doesn't want to nicely go have a nice time with their daughter.
With their father.
Give me 1 hour with you. Let's go sit down. So it would be, I feel like that would be a better approach because then you could separate him from his physical space and area. Yeah. I don't know if that'll happen.
As soon as
here I am doing the advice thing. And I'm like, what would I do? What would I do if my parents did that? Would I do that? I don't know. I don't know.
But if
would I chop my mom's face off and be like, you're horrible? Would I just lose my mind? How can you not see this? Like,
or how could you let me and your family believe that you're dead?
That, like, just tell me the truth. Like, how is it okay to be so evil and tell somebody that, their father is dead just so that they don't bug them and have and Well, what I
have a
would call it,
relationship.
what I would call it, oh my, oh, hey, that looks better like this, don't you think, or no?
Yeah, hold up.
What do you
No,
think?
go
I
back.
think it looks better away like
Right
that.
there.
Okay,
Right there.
that's so funny. Now I know. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, knowing is half the battle.
Anyway, so yeah, light distracted me.
Squirrel.
I'm not, yeah, squirrel brain. Actually, the wine kind of keeps me mellow.
It's helping you.
Okay, yeah, it just kind of well, the wine and my sweet little Mary Jane, my sweet Mary Jesus.
That's pretty good. That's pretty funny.
Mary Jesus.
Or I like to call it Pakalolo.
I put I want to do, I have a sticky note somewhere. I have all these sticky notes from my little episodes, each on, oh, right here. I want to do this. I think this is going to be fun. So
Okay.
shirts similar to the one I'm wearing. In fact, something similar to this, that would be like Queen, and it will say SP. So we can all the ladies can wear Queen SP shit if they want. But it would say something like this. This is just a sketch, so do not.
I'm not going to judge.
Not you, the world. So it'll say blunt as fuck, but blunt AF, and and smoking a joint.
Nice.
And then the golden
Rodders. Oh my god.
Because we're blunt as fuck.
Yes.
And we say it
how
my god. Isn't that
dope?
That
is amazing. That's a great idea.
Okay.
You put it on your merch. I'm
on a shirt like this, blunt as fuck, Queen SP or whatever. I feel like I can. Anyhow, okay, good, fun.
We could do
it. Maybe
I would rock it.
It would be nice to see our parents wearing one someday.
Right. I would still love to see his family in the Free Bob shirt, but
yeah, no. That's also that would be the one. Oh, interesting. Are you allowed to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, why not?
So what do you mean?
The only person out of his sisters, his brothers that I tried to reach out to, I've been talking to his baby sister and filling her in, but I haven't heard from anyone else, just his baby sister. And so it's kind of like, you'll come around.
I have a question
for right now.
This is something that's happening with me and my family. Do you feel that the other family members know about the fair gaming and the disconnection policies at all?
I don't think, no, they're not Scientologists, anything. But
okay, but like I have aunts and uncles and cousins who do not speak to me because they've literally said, I'm afraid to have any kind of conversation with you because I know the policies of Scientology, and I like my uncle Mike and Joanne. They're not Scientologists whatsoever. And same with their children, my cousins. And it just like slowly went down from Christmas cards, how it was already limited because everything would go to my mom at the Hollywood 6331. That's the address my parents have. And if they do have, my parents' family, my family. And if they do have the gold base address for some reason, like say they've been sending packages there forever, I think they actually moved everything. Everything was switched. Nope, it goes to the HGB address, and then we'll go from there.
Yep.
Because it was they didn't know if somebody was sending, and something
weird to hurt them, or who knows.
Or for example, like I think Mark Headley and Claire Headley, I think he put a phone or something in a Victoria's Secret box for her. Or there was something, I knew there was something like that. I remember that story, and I remember being, and that the reason he did that, or there was something like that, is because he knew, it's just like a cute, like Victoria's Secret bra. They're not, but if it's like a letter or an envelope that's explaining my heart and saying, I'm sorry that we aren't talking and I really love you, they're going to open that, and they won't, my mom will never know that this letter even exists. Yeah.
No.
Right. But Osa will. Osa, yeah. How do you feel about that, Osa, watching Like, that's pretty
Yeah,
fucking.
or parents, like,
And they
kept
normalize
tell-
this. Osa, you're normalizing this. This has been going on since you've been your whole life in the Sea Org or under Scientology's Osa care. So if you're watching Osa, you're normal. You have gotten so reasonable that you think it's the greatest good for the greatest number of dynamics to not let a mother and a daughter or a father and a daughter work out their differences through their own communications, and you have somebody separating and making sure that they do not get connected, including interrupting my other side of the family who has nothing to do with Scientology at all, but know what happened even to me when I started talking out. And so now they go, oh, if my mom knows that I'm talking to any one of these non-Scientology family members, my mother will stop talking to them. It's not even their choice. My mom will stop talking to them, and
We'll
they
add
don't
them to
want to
the list.
lose that. They
Yeah.
don't want to lose that.
Mhm.
It would
No,
be
her
me. They make you put a choice. It would be like me losing my brother, or me losing, like saying like, okay, I choose my brother over my sister, or I choose, you know what? But right now I definitely choose my brother over my sister. I love you, brother, if you're watching this. Anywho,
Nice. No, his family is not like that. I think because he wasn't a good brother. You know, there'd been like years since they had spoken, almost like he had disconnected from them years earlier. Like,
yeah.
so
There was a moment where my dad cared. You know, I could feel him caring. And then there was a moment where you heard, I don't know if you know anything about the documentary that was supposed to be about the cadets and everything.
Yeah, I did.
And there was a phone call on there with my dad that was me trying my hardest with the no therapy, the working all day, quickly going out, drinking at night, having so much fun, kind of forgetting about the whole world, playing ping pong like a crazy girl at Tony's, doing whatever the fuck I want to relieve my mind of that. I just want to enjoy and live my life. And my dad just hounding me with these, like, first we have a conversation up at Beechwood at this one place, and it was really nice, and we really talked about everything. I said, well, I talked about this last night in my last episode. So if y'all are here, I was with Vanessa last night, Vanessa LaRose. So we were talking about the fact that, like, I would break down and be completely open with him and say, Dad, why are you telling me that I can't have friends with, Jenna Hill? This was 6-7 years ago, right? 5. This is when they're starting to break it down. So I want people to know it wasn't just, and for your story, it's different. Each person's story is different because OSA is controlled by David McCabbage's. Sorry, he hates when people mispronounce his name. And so I like to be like,
here's a good one for you.
David McCabbage.
Mickabitch.
Oh, David Mickabitch. He's made a bitch. He's Mickabitch. He's a Mickabitch.
Mega bitch.
He's a mega bitch.
Das sehr gut.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what I was saying is
everybody's story is a little different.
Oh yeah, so everybody's story is a little different
at the same time.
But the thing, their methods and everything they're doing are completely the same. The intensity of evil, the intensity of putting somebody under so much duress and stress for so long over so many purposeful moments of times, and giving them a very limited amount of sleep, a very controlled giving them enough food for them to continue to exhaust themselves.
Just enough.
And then so that you can fully knock out, go to, like, completely pass out because you're so fucking tired from all this. And then to go get your sec checking and all that. This is all what I'm talking about, just trying to leave on a sec check lines. Or if you're under, you're under security, you're under 24-hour watch. If you're under 24-hour watch, you're working, you're
digging holes.
I mean, you're scrubbing dumpsters, you're cleaning toilets, you're put into a storage room that's full of asbestos and walls full of mildew, and you need to get that bleach out, and the gloves. I use gloves all the time now, and I'm like, nope, we didn't have those before. But I'm like, get the gloves. Nope, we didn't have the gloves. Now I use gloves, but like, and every time I put on a pair of gloves, cleaning gloves, dishwashing gloves, latex to go scrub a toilet or whatever, I think, God, I'm so sorry, hands, that nobody told me to protect
that I fucked
me.
with you.
I'm so sorry. You're one of my most valuable things as a body. I really love you. I never meant to, like it. Anyhow. And these
I
are
had to apologize to Rosie Palm too.
That's how you call them, Rosie Palms. I'm so sorry, my little baby. Anyways, I'm still go ahead before I get really intense and
I'm gonna make you laugh first. What do you call a lesbian with long fingers?
I don't know.
Well hung.
That's cute. I was thinking, like, what if they're like not, experienced and mature? Like, what if they just left the Sea Org?
Oh shit.
I think
then
that
you're
would
talking
be
about the midget patrol.
Then I was like,
No, it's one of my favorite jokes. It always makes people smile.
That is. No, and for me, I'm like, I love jokes. I'm very funny. It's just that and this, it's so hard to, it's not hard to be funny and jokey. We joke and we're so funny.
I joke
ridiculous.
all the time.
The time.
The other way.
Like, and so there's so much time for that. There's so much time to be working and tell somebody a joke, and it makes them laugh, and I feel good, and they feel good, and that feels great, right? But then when you're in this little, like, for reals, how can we get my dad out of Gold Base? Or how can I get my mom? And I'm thinking, like, there was a chance I was like, what if I really, like, Lara FM'd, fuck-um'd, and said, get my fucking mom out here now. Like, this isn't going to be funny. And what if I really, really became really just rude, like really bad? There's so many times where, and then I'm thinking, not only are you thinking, when I get to the base, what am I going to do? Danny Dunnigan or whoever the hell is going to be at that booth? You're also thinking, how am I going to get my stray dog mother who wants to run away from me? And your stray dog father who does love you, but they feel feared because they have a whole group,
will leave if he
300. Leaves. No, but they have a whole group that are giving him love and support every day. He's not getting love and support from what he knows from you.
No.
Or me. My mom's.
They took that from us.
That's what I mean. And so it's insane. It's insane, but we're going in with our strongest hope and love. And we're we're going to go there and this is what we're feeling, right? We're going to go there. We're going to get them out. We're going to tell them it's okay. You just need to learn everything, and you've got a lot to learn and catch up on. That's what
I'm okay with that.
That's what we would go. That, by the way, Mom, if you're watching, that's all what we're going to do. We may be upset. We may disagree, but I will love you the most I've ever loved you because you're out here talking with me. You're with us,
Yep.
It doesn't matter what we argue about. Ooga booga wooga. Have you ever gone out to the fucking middle of the desert and looked up at the Milky Way and the stars and realized how tiny our problems are compared to the whole universe? So, Mom, I'm okay if you are completely in a psychotic, abusive, mentally very skittish state, and you think everybody's not, and maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be so happy in a week and realize, wow, my daughter was right. I have no idea, but whatever the outcome is, we're ready.
Yeah.
Do you, like Bob
Absolutely.
Ferris, the moment Bob Ferris says, Liz, you do have an apartment or somewhere I can go? And of course, the answer is yes. It doesn't matter if you really did or don't, right? The answer is 100% because
the aftermath is already
But
ready
we
for
have
that.
SPTV community. We have the Aftermath community.
Mhm.
This whole thing is under the umbrella of the SPTV nation.
Yep.
Nation.
Yep.
This is worldwide. Okay. So this is what's so important. When somebody feels unconditional love by another group, when they leave that cult, that organization, their mind is gonna be, they're gonna be crying every day of joy and sadness.
Mhm.
And I'm so sorry, Liz.
Yep. I was broken when I left. I was very broken. And it's okay. I made it through, so will they. So did you.
I think I'm still broken, but like I've learned
Yeah, I'm
ways.
still a little broken when it comes to, a parent or either parent.
I mean,
But
broken schmoken. Like I'm not like, oh, I'm broken. No, I'm saying I want people to know we've been broken and we're
we
here
got some duct tape, some
and we're
scotch tape
talking
and other
about it and we're
places.
just letting you know, like, hey, here's the cut. So don't stab
Don't
at it.
touch.
And if you even joke about it, we're gonna let you know that's that's not something to joke about. Like,
No.
especially when the situation is still at hand. Like literally
Yeah.
joke
This
about
isn't
it
a
and
joke.
laugh about it when
20
this is all
years.
done. Then
When it is all done and
or
we're
joke about
reading
it
about
like
it in the
South
history
Park.
books.
Joke about it like South Park did it, where they at least show you in some way that there is literally some truth about the joking that they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. I have a question for you. We were talking about hands and stuff. One of my questions I wanted to be intimate and talk to you about, because we literally have parents together.
Yep.
So were you able to ask Claire or Mark or anybody like what Bob is doing right now on the base, or do they know?
We don't know. The last
Okay.
thing that he knew, well, we don't know if he's done anything since. The last thing Mark knew was that he was an e-meter repair tech, or he built them. So that was his job day in, day out, is building the e-meters, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me because realistically, who the fuck is buying them? There's not that many Scientologists in the world.
But Bob Ferris has been doing this kind of a job for a while.
Yeah.
My sister, just so you know, here's a connection. My sister and like 30 of the other sort of older Int Ranch cadets,
Yeah,
were put on the TTC/HEM crew, and they would go from the Int Ranch base, the Int Ranch property on Saboba Native Indian property, take a van run. So there's 3 runs every day from the Int Ranch base to Gold. But
okay.
And I'm only saying this so that people can put shit into perspective. There's 3 runs every single day, people, of the year from the Int Ranch base to the Gold base, which is only a 12 to 15 minute drive tops from the Int Ranch base to the Gold base, right?
Okay.
But they'll give you 3 runs a day to do that, to bring the food and to bring mail and to security needs us on the next run to the ranch. And that was the communication line and the food run and sending RTC folders and PC folders and sending me as a child to my mother, who was auditing me at the Gold base on TRs and objectives. So this was the only way to and fro from Gold base to Int Ranch. They give us 3 runs a day on this, but not once are they, and they only give us 2 hours a week with our parents. They will guarantee 3 runs a day to and from the Gold base, but you can only see your parents for 2 hours a week.
I heard that from you guys.
If they catch that run on time, because there's only one. And if they have passed their own CSP White Glove free time inspection.
Yeah.
It's just like, at a certain point, wake the fuck up and just say it out loud. This is not okay. right?
it's not
This,
okay.
mom, this is not okay. You came into something that you were going to help and save the world, and right now you are a part of something that is really not okay. And the only way it will be absolutely okay is if Bob Ferris and Diane Anderson and Vicky Pearson, and I can go on a roll about all the people that are still there.
Yeah.
Until they leave.
Yeah. We're not stopping till they leave.
Not at all. And
No.
also their little fear lingering on people, like, no, Gold Base and the property have the same laws as every other human in the United States. As if you're a Scientologist or not, you know, the same laws apply to the Scientologists and the Sea Org members as much as they do to us out here in the WOG world.
Yes, because realistically, you know, whether it's labor laws, whether it's child labor laws, whether it's any kind of freedom of speech, freedom of, you know, I don't care about, you know, I'm not going to disturb anyone's freedom of religion, but make sure it's just that.
We don't even need to go there. I'm going to stop. Everybody, y'all can no, we don't need to protect religion. Scientology is not a religion, first of all.
No, it's not.
We were children at the event clapping, wondering why the war is over. We were like, what war? We don't know what you're talking about. But we were hip-hipping, hooraying to L. Ron Hubbard's photo for almost, it felt like a fucking full hour. Hip, hip.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, and everybody's
and your arms get tired, your throat gets sore.
Yeah. Cheering.
But you have to keep going. Just keep going.
And you look to the side because you see security like, are you guys being LPR? You're not saying, oh, no, this is so good. I was just letting him know, like, oh, we just got a new sale.
Nice.
It's no, I mean, like, it's so stupid. Like, okay, we can keep saying it's so stupid, but we're also acknowledging ourselves for finally being able to talk about it and go
and laugh about it at times.
Crazy.
Because laughing about it does help.
Oh, it fucking helps me all the time. Like to laugh and to hear myself laugh and to feel my chest giggle feels very good. It feels, and it also allows us that strength. It gives us our strength back to being like, oh my God, the only fear I ever had on Scientology was the fear they gave to me.
Yeah.
That's it. Scientology doesn't have any other fear. They don't have actual, they don't have, there's none. No, it's just what we think they're going to do to us. No.
And the instant you fear it, then it's taking control over you. You're basically giving it power.
Then you start.
And
that's where I want to go. This is where I want to go back to the like, oh, but protect religions. Like, no, Scientology was never a religion. Scientology used your religion, non-biased, protected law, you know,
to get tax exempt, to be able to keep the money.
But also to get away with what they want, their scheme and their whole pyramid that they put together. So
yeah. Because it's kind of funny how, you know, David Miscavige has professionally tailored suits. Megavich. Okay.
Megavich. Yeah,
but
yeah. He'll tailor suits. Where the fuck? Wait, where the fuck are my mom's arthritis shoes or something? Why does David Miscavige have these tight-chested, bulky, little like fucking?
I told you,
Don't I look good? It's so stupid. And the fucked up thing is I thought he looks so good. I was a 14-year-old, 15-year-old messaging, yes, sir. No, sir. The black one looks a lot better.
Yeah. Or the fact that when we were in the Sea Org and the fact that he has tailored suits and we have like at CC, the ugly fucking pants, because don't give me a real pair of pants, you know. That stupid blouse that had to have no stains on it. Oh, look at my boobies.
How embarrassing. Yeah. Boobies and make sure that button doesn't pop.
Yeah, just make sure you're all good. Here we go.
Just make sure they know the perfect. Basically, they could pretty much scan out your measuring size.
Pretty much. And so it's like all you're doing is you're it doesn't bother you during the time when you're hook, line, and sinkered. Why do we only have 3 pairs of pants? Why do I only have 2? Oh shit, this one tore. Now I have 1. I
Yeah.
have 1 pair of pants
And
that I
now
have to somehow keep clean and not smell like Baduthi because I've been wearing it for 3 fucking days. And like, okay, now it's
and
time.
sweating.
There's
It's
another
not
pant.
just like wearing it. You're doing hard work. You're in stressful situations.
Yes,
You know?
like running back and forth everywhere.
David Miscavige
These
just
girls,
walked
they
in.
bounce.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Get your TRs in, stand up straight. You're like, fuck.
And
That
depending
just
on
made
your
my butt go
job,
pucker.
yeah, and depending on your job, you're an auditor or whatever, where you literally are standing up straight doing this shit. Like you're not allowed to have your TRs must be in, And again, there you are again, there we are again. Every step of our day, every step of Diane Anderson and Bob Ferris's day is accounted for. Their mental process, they can tell when they're just wandering off and thinking about something else. They can actually see when that's happening, whether that's during a lunch break or I literally was like, wait, when do they have that moment?
I was kind of thinking that's not true because
like
right
during the
before
canteen
muster,
when you're waiting in line to buy your thing with your $7 minus pay.
That's funny.
Okay.
No, but I was thinking if you smoked cigarettes, most of us that smoked, we would go like at CC, there was this little where the laundry would come in. We would go smoke right there. Didn't have a cover on it, but it kept us out of limelight, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I can't tell you how many times I stood out there and I was like, man, it's fucking hot. I got to figure out a way to clean my uniform. Oh, now I'm going to smell like smoke. Fuck. And Lord knows we can't spray perfume, can't hide that.
So what did you do?
A lot of times I would spritz lemon on myself. Like I was a fucking toilet.
Like you were a toilet.
Yep. I need the lemon like a toilet.
So I have a personal question about female. When did you get your period and stuff, or not when, but like when you got it, was that fine for you? Did you have somebody to?
Oh no, I had a panic attack.
Are you? I love how my question was exactly. I'm like, yeah, so I had a fucking panic attack, and I just thought I didn't know I was having a panic attack. Like I literally was like, oh, boss, to my senior. I was like, sir, boss. I joked to my actual boss and said that, hey, boss. And she laughed. She's like, yes, yes, client, yes, worker.
Yep.
But that's crazy. So how old were you? I got mine when I was 14. I was in CMO. I was a messenger in the WB and I was walking down the stairs bringing OT folders, by the way, because apparently CMO messengers are now allowed to hold OT folders, but not anybody below that.
Yeah. I was 12 when I got mine.
Okay.
So 3 years out of Scientology, but still living a Scientology public life with my mom. And so I kept sneezing and panicking and sweating. And every time I sneezed, it was like Niagara Falls went off in my fucking pants and I couldn't even move.
But so what were you doing? I mean, I'm laughing, but then I really want to know.
I went to the nurse and I was like, what's happening? Like, am I dying?
Yeah.
Because nobody.
Wait, what do you mean? You went by yourself?
I was at a public school. I was at a public school.
Wow.
So I went to the nurse and I'm like.
So you went to the public school nurse and you were like, what is this?
What the fuck is this? Am I dying?
I'm dying. What did she say?
She's like, oh, how wonderful, magical. You started your period.
What were you thinking when she's saying all this?
Does that mean I'm having a baby?
Yeah, right.
Like,
it doesn't explain anything. It doesn't explain anything.
No. And then like my cousin Felicia had to explain how tampons worked, how pads work, like the whole works. And I'm like,
who's your cousin?
Her name is Felicia. Not Sea Org, not Scientology at all.
Okay. Cute. And wait, so she
explained it to me.
How did you feel about that? How did you feel about that?
I felt dirty.
You felt like she shouldn't have been telling you about this?
No, I was grateful that she told me, but I felt dirty that I had to do that. And like, I remember going over stuff, but I was like, was not prepared, had no idea. God damn, I wish someone had given me a heads up, like
Yeah.
anything. The
Yeah.
talk, like,
Yeah.
no.
I had to read mine. So first, I had to read. I just saw the tampon machines, you know, in the bathrooms all the time. So I thought, oh, that's the thing that they use when I start my period. So I'll just do that. Like, I don't know. Somehow I just knew, like, oh, like from my friends, they're like, oh, I started my period or whatever. Or they weren't actually that open unless I was really close with them, and it would just be sweet. Like, no, I'm on my period, so I have to go get a maxi pad. Do you have one? Like, it would be very like, we only can, like, we would never talk out loud about this. It would just be
It's
like
hush
only
hush
us.
secret.
Yeah, and you would never tell like another Sea Org member like you're on your period or whatever. Like,
No.
that's like, no, don't even talk. Like, you don't need anybody thinking about that.
I did get lucky though, as weird as this sounds. When I joined the Sea Org, my mom had suddenly decided she wanted to be a really good mom, and she sent me this big ass box care package, and it was like a year worth of tampons. I was like, oh, not bad.
So I went to the tampon machine in the Fort Harrison I went to the tampon machine because I tried the pad. And
I felt like a diaper.
Yeah. And when you're sweating with these freaking tight ass Sea Org hemmed pants to make you look like a woman, because you're not an adult and you need to have ethics presence in front of these old men who are going to try to manipulate you. I don't have big titties, so I can't pop them up enough. But anywho, so I had to literally, so finally I was like, oh, these pads are so enormous. Like, so
it's like they were made in
uncomfortable.
1970s.
Yeah, and I'm a CMO messenger, so I'm running and I'm running around all the time. Running programs, making sure I'm there, looking at the hotels and seeing, nope, these shiny bars are degrading. They need to be re-golded or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And writing programs for these things. And boom, in the middle of the thing. And it was so weird. I remember Miranda, her name was Miranda Morales or something like this. And
that sounds so familiar.
She has a little sister named Barbara Morales, I think. Marcella Morales. Anyway, Serge would know if I know I've seen him jumping a few times here and into this chat. But anyway, so I'm going down the freaking stairs, and it was just bloop. Like, I felt like it wasn't like boom, like galore crazy. I just felt like, whoa, I've never felt that thing of something falling that much. Also, I was cramping.
I've never had a cramp a day in my life.
But I didn't connect this until way later, until I realized, oh, cramps have something to do with periods. But I thought, I thought the flat Sea Org shoes that they wore, they made, you know, those black little pointy, stupid.
Yeah.
They would make that CMO messengers wear because they were feminine. I thought, oh, those are just hurting my feet, so it's hurting my lower back or something. And
I can see that.
But so then when the bloop, and I was like, oh, I think I just have a little drip in my underwear or whatever. I was like, oh, this is, for some reason, I knew because of friends, older adults or something that I'd grown up with in the Sea Org and stuff like that. They always were like, oh, I'm cramping and I don't feel good. And it didn't connect until me experiencing it by myself.
Yeah.
Going, oh, wait, my friend said cramp. I'm cramping. That thing happened. I just started my period, and I tell Miranda this, and she's my senior, and I'm in the hallway of the WB and the stairs, and she's like, oh, okay, well, you go to the bathroom and deal with that. And then, so I go to the bathroom. I've never dealt with this. I go to the bathroom, and I just see blood. And to me, that, like you said, I had like a little bit of a panic attack. I was like, I don't think she knows how much blood is coming out. And it wasn't even that much. I just didn't know. Nobody says it's fine. It'll do its thing. It comes out and it resets for the next month, like for the baby.
Rinse,
and it's
recycle,
actually
repeat.
it's like a really beautiful, healthy cleansing thing. That's what's so crazy.
Yeah, I did not get blessed with that department. every time I sneezed, and for some reason it was like something was stuck up my nose. Let's be real, I was 12, but I'm sitting there and I'm sneezing and sneezing and sneezing in class, and all of a sudden I'm like, I feel like me piddling, and I'm like, did I pee my pants? Oh my god, fuck, I peed my pants. Shit. You know, and then it keeps coming, and then finally I go to the bathroom and it looked like the Niagara Falls in my pants. My pants were soaked. I was like, well, not really sure, but I go to the nurse and they sent me home for the rest of the day. And I sat on the toilet for most of the day as it like poured, damn it, like Niagara Falls.
You know what I just remembered? I was in the WB bathroom downstairs. Holy fucking crap butt. I just remember this. I was in the WB bathroom downstairs in a stall, and David Miscavige came in because the bathroom isn't like a woman's only or whatever. It's just open.
A bathroom's a bathroom.
Right.
Except in birthings.
Yeah. Everybody's a sir here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't matter your age or, you know,
IQ.
Yeah. Your age, your IQ, or your identity, your genity.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow,
I remember,
and he came in
once
and he was peeing, and I was so fucking scared because I'm bleeding, but I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here until it's done, right? So I'm like, okay, it's almost done, and I see, I was gonna say no offense, but I'm being absolutely serious. I see these shiny, nice little feet. Men feet come in, and I knew, oh my god, that's Dave Miscavige. I just knew because I ran for him. I would be cleaning. We would be helping the assistants and the communicators iron and clean their shirts perfectly. Everybody knew. Anyways, I was like, that's Dave Miscavige. So I was just sitting there, didn't do anything. Then he got up and went out and walked out. And then Miranda came in, and I was like, she was like, Megan. Because that's what they call me then, Megan. And I was like, yeah, yes, sir. She was like, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, COB just came in here. I'm talking to her through the stall, by the way. All this is happening through the stall. I'm like, COB just came in here. I was like, and she was like, I know. Like she was like, yeah, I know. So I came in here. I was like, I thought you could like created a flap or something. That's what she said. I thought you created a flap or something. So I was like, no, I didn't do anything. I was like, but she was like, so what do you need? She was like, I was like, I don't know. I'm just waiting for it to stop. And she was like, just put a pad. Come on. And I was like, she was like, I'll go get, she was like, you don't have a pad? Okay, I'll be back. So she goes out, very tone 40 professional, you know, okay, I'll be back. Like, oh, this is Dev T. Okay, I'll come back. Like, it was literally like that. Oh, you don't have a pad? Come on. Take care of yourself. And by the way, this human talking to me is only 13 herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were children.
So she comes really quickly, felt like 1 second later, with a pad, and I put the pad, and she's like, look, you just put, and she's like, no, you just take this off, put these around your underwear. And I was like, oh, it was the wings, you know?
Okay.
Oh. And so I was like, oh, okay, good. Oh, good. And I felt good. Oh, good. Okay. And so then I started to figure out, oh, I can feel when it's like about to drip or it's coming down. And this is so funny that we're talking about the period. But anyway,
right?
I love it. I think it's just like, hello, we were all born and created because of the period being a part of us. Like our moms. Anyways, so it's like so funny how our society has just totally twisted, like, hey, your natural clock is now this gross thing that, but you were all born in it.
Yep.
Anywho, so anyways, to finish that story, so I get the pad on, and then so later, as I'm demoted from CMO 2-3 years later, they put me as a CMO programs operator. I mean, as a flag crew cleaner, a public areas cleaner in the Fort Harrison Hotel. And I was just like, I was already so pissed off that they put me in it. And so I was kind of in this like, fuck you, like whatever attitude-y. And anyway, so I kind of was like, okay, I cleaned all the bathrooms. I kind of got starting to get, you know, really comfortable and good at my job, taking my little days off every once in a blue moon. I was able to have a libs day, which never
Yeah,
happened. So I felt very free as a public areas cleaner. And then I was in touch with the public. Like the public will walk by and be like, you're doing such a great job. You're always making this place look. They would. I would be like, I'm like, thank you. Like, you know, it was like really sweet. They could tell. Anyways,
because they
really
don't even know what's going on with us.
And so one of my jobs was to replace the tampons and the pads. And so I was always wondering, what's the tampons? So again, nobody was there to help me or do any of that. And in my mind, I'm either embarrassed or it's so inappropriate to be talking about your vagina and how to insert a tampon in there so you don't bleed. It's inappropriate and it could cause wrist stimulation and out 2D.
Out 2D.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't see myself ever talking to someone about that.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
no. I had a hard enough time telling someone that she must have what athlete's foot because her feet smelled so bad that I was just like, oh my God, like you're in our room and your feet smell so fucking bad.
And there's like, 8 other people in the room. And for some reason, when you come in and take off your shoes, the whole apartment stinks.
Yeah. It smells
so bad that I'm angry toward you because I haven't said anything. Oh, I've totally had that with people in our dorms. OMG.
Yeah.
And the thing is you don't pick who gets to be in your dorm. You don't pick who's going to be your dorm mate. And they specifically, OSA, we know your fucking tricks. They specifically security, CMO, RTC. They specifically bird you and put you in situations where they have full control over what may or may not go down.
Yeah. Well, so when I was at CC Div 7, all this, like the CC network people, we all got to bunk together. Those of us that were single, everybody else had their 2D, but we were together.
Wait, so female, right? Obviously. By the way, male and females, obviously, I don't know if y'all know this or if am I blowing somebody's big brain? Male, females, even though we call each other, yes, sir, 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 you're giving blowjobs. Oh, sir, sir, you're still calling him sir. Yes, sir. You're kissing somebody's ass. Yes, sir. It's your mother. Yes, sir. You're getting audited. Yes, sir. Oh, sorry, sir. I'm just handling this reactive memory. Anyway, so sir, 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 they really blur the line between femininity, masculinity, being loving and caring and sweet. And then by blurring it, I mean, they say you're being case on post, you're dramatizing, you're distracting an executive from their job by complaining or interpolating them about a ARC break or an overt you've committed.
Yeah.
Oh, are you having a little eye twitch psycho moment?
It's possible. I did not like that at all.
No, but it's 100% like, that's how it is. That is how it is. Oh my God.
Yeah. But no, at first, like before I went into CC Network, we all were like scattered all over the place. And then one day we were suddenly, a room became empty. And then we all got put in that room together.
Oh, wow. Right. No, I don't say, oh, wow. I'm saying, oh, wow. So that was a normal thing.
Yeah.
Like, because that happened at Flag Base when the fucking apartments, you know. Here's
like
the
a room became available.
Thing. Well, also the thing is like, I don't know where, I mean, I do know where. Like, OSA, this is again where you've all become so reasonable. You know what I mean? Like where in terms it's like, when is it okay to lie to the fire department and take down the third bunk bed down and pretend there's only 4 people living in this apartment building? And then when they leave, you put them all back.
Yep.
Like, why is that okay? Like, why is it okay? I mean, I'm not asking. I'm saying, at what point does a Sea Org member like my mom and your dad at Gold Base go, okay, this is a little too much, even for right now, the extremes, when even Mark Headley and Claire were like, this is too much at that point, when, you know, there's a mental institution that has been built that is called Scientology, and we're not calling it that. It's a mental institution that gives no help and no love and no cure and no therapy and no healing. They're just institutionalizing you and then saying what you're doing is so good by just being here and just doing what we're telling you to do and to not think outside of this.
Yep. They don't want you to think outside the box, anything. And it, you know, and
it's
you know, the worst part about remembering, like the bathrooms were shit. And I remember thinking, oh my God, my grandma's bathroom is so prettier than this. And,
I remember thinking that too. I remember going like, why does this have to be so bad? I was even like, I can replace that faucet right now.
Yeah, I can replace the floor.
I can put a new vinyl. I can put new carpet. I was like, I know where the glue gun is. I know where the carpet glue is. I know where the new carpeting is. Oh, nope. You got to get approved by the birthing IC. And then you have to get a PO approved, a purchase order. And that has to be approved by the Treasury Sec and all your, it's unfucking believable.
Yep.
Like, again, I'm going to keep saying this, every step we take and every thought we had and everything we were doing, brushing our teeth, washing our face, every care method we have was all surrounded by Scientology's manipulative, inhumane, poisonous, pedophilic, child trafficking, human trafficking, L. Ron Hubbard policies that he purposely wrote to control a group of people to believe his theories to make his ego at the time feel good. He's no longer here with us and we're still fucking doing this.
Yeah.
And we're the kids of this. We never asked to be a part of this. You don't get to choose. We asked so many times to not be a part of it in so many ways. And every single time we in our childhood, every single time we asked for a nice, simple letdown, or, hey, can we just, Dad, can you just be, Daddy, you can be in the Sea Org and you can be in cuckoo Scientology land. I didn't say that, but I was like, you can be in Scientology and it's fine. And I just want to be a rock star and say how I feel about everything, but I'm going to be myself just as much as you. And, you know, that worked.
And there's no
dicks involved.
Necessary.
Yeah, no disconnection is necessary. Yep. Why is that even there? Who the fuck writes a policy that disconnects? That
cuts family because
there's a lot of books in psychology that say, right, but there's a lot of books in psychology that says, like, hey, if somebody's giving, they don't say if this, it doesn't say here is the mechanism of getting somebody to not mess with our business organization. And we are above the law. So we're going to start from just a little threats and we're going to slowly move up the ethics gradients for them.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter how far those gradients go because we're above the law. And this is why David Miscavige thinks he's currently still going to get away with all of this stuff.
Yes. He thinks he is, but we're all standing up and we're saying no.
And also, we don't care if he thinks he is. We're going to continue using the only system we have, which is the legal system, to make sure he gets put on his tiny little stand at the courthouse.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind seeing him in
tiny
orange.
Little stand. Well, I don't know. They would have to custom make a little orange jumpsuit.
They're probably going to have to reach out to Versace, maybe some.
No, or his Italian, or the Lugli family, Tiziano Lugli.
So that way he can get a nice prison suit.
You know, yeah. I mean, maybe just so it opens up air in the armpits from all the sweating and the vomiting he might be doing.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't care to joke about Dave Miscavige because he's a fucking waste of my breath.
Okay.
Anywho, I mean, no, I do care. I do care. Let's do it. Let's joke as much as we want.
Well, it's an hour and 45 minutes.
And it said,
I have to
yep.
work
And I
tomorrow.
saw 11. Yep. Okay. Let's do our questions and let's jump out. And also, let's just remind people this Saturday, we're doing a whole Save Bob Ferris, Where's Bob Ferris fundraiser for
It's
Liz.
called a chat-a-thon.
A chat-a-thon. I never heard of that. I was like, a
I
chat-a-thon.
had never either. I thought it was amazing. And all it makes me think of is Rocky. We're doing a chat-a-thon.
Yeah. You coming to the chat-a-thon? Put your dukes up. And
That's
we
right.
are. Like we are, though. That's the thing.
Yep,
we really are.
We are.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's start with the questions and the beautiful stars. Love you, brave gals from Jefferson Hawkins. Lara, your folks were such dear friends. Yes, honey, you put those bad bitch goggles on.
Yeah.
Your folks were such dear friends. So Jefferson Hawkins knows my mom and dad, and I know he knows right. He knows Bob Ferris. Do you know that? I wonder, Jeff, I have a question for you. Do you know Bob Ferris? So Jeff Hawkins, did a Dianetics campaign when he was doing a Dianetics campaign in like the 50s or whatever. I don't know. I could be wrong around 86, maybe the 50s. I don't know. Anyways, one of the original like Dianetics campaigns. My mom and him worked together on that. Like he's known my mother and my father, but I know that he knows my father forever. Anyway, so he does know Bob. He does know my mom and dad. I do think he knew my mother more. Like he just had more of like worked with my mom or was put on the Dianetics campaign or whatever. So yeah,
that's how it is with Claire and Mark. Claire knew my dad, and Mark knew details about me and my dad. So it's like one worked with him, so they were very close, but they still knew each other. And finding out their stories, I'm excited. One of these days, I'm just gonna pick everyone's brain and be like, "Hey, what's
you're already doing it? You're already doing it."
True.
We're gonna do so basically what I start. So basically, I always say that. So basically, so my brain and I started talking. But so anytime, like if I want to bring you back up and we talk about more stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to talk about. Right now, we're just on we're chipping at the outside. Yeah, we're just nibbling at the outside so me and Liz can understand our frames. And then we're gonna start talking. Even like somebody in the chat I'll bring it up, but they brought up like, I didn't know you weren't allowed to use the microwave and the toaster and simple basic shit like that. And I'm like these are just things that I'm remembering at the moment. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're still here? Oh,
there's still like a whole. These are just things I know in the moment. Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, Jeff. Boom. All right, here we go. Joni Cummings, Lara FM, and Liz Ferris. You are Amazon warriors, just like the rest of SBTV ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joni. You're really amazing and supportive. We really appreciate that. Yeah. This one is from Jen. Hi, Jen. I got your email and your message. I was going to invite you out the other night because I was like, you know what? Jen would appreciate it. I was going to call you and then a million things came up, but I am thinking of you. I'm going to call you. We're going to hang out and this is going to be amazing.
Oh my God.
You read this. Yeah, you read this.
Okay, so cheers, Laura and Liz. Both, you're both strong and inspiring. Laura, I had to go to the Wilcox post office today, which is right across from Mama's Shelter. Thought of you and hashtag Save Bob Ferris. I hate that fucking post office. I hate that place.
Why?
So was it the Bronson? No, it was the Bronson. So by the Bronson, I went across one time to go get stamps so I can mail my mom letters. You know, mail my family. And then I got in trouble for not getting permission to get stamps. And I was like, okay, you know, not a big deal. I won't do it again. And then the next day, like a cockroach went across my foot. And I'm like, what did I get myself into? And I'd never been like that. And then every day I was getting more and more used to cockroaches going across the floor, hearing sirens all night, not having a fucking AC unit. oh God, if someone had gas or their stomach was upset, you got to hear them fart and shit and oh Lord. And then if someone's feet stink, it's like, again, we all had problems, but it just, yeah. It's
The
not.
simple thing is it's very easy to make somebody's feet not stink.
Yeah, it's called leave
And
your shoes
so
on.
we're talking about little droplets of reflections of things that are happening all the time, every minute of the day. For a Scientologist, SEER member, or a staff Scientologist is scheduled and planned out. So they're doing the same hypnotic routine every single day. And then included in that, you're getting harassed, you're getting tormented, you're getting stressed, you're getting very little sleep, you're getting validated at times by the highest people, you know, on that are above you. And so there's a mixture of keeping you going and under this insane psychosis that they put you through, literally a psychotic hypnosis where they're keeping you under a rhythm, a routine. They don't give you any access to the outside world. There's no such thing as having a cell phone. There's no such thing as going on the internet and just saying like, oh, let me read what Reddit said today. Like, or what's the New York Times? There's no such, they have no connection to the outside world. And the reason is because it's going to interbulate my mother. If she kept reading, she would literally in 1 week know Scientology and everything she's doing is a complete fucking fraud and a lie.
If you give them 10 minutes of the internet.
Literally. There's no way they could go back to post remembering all the things that they just saw in that 10 minutes. That, I mean, 10 minutes is a short time, but
10 minutes is, but it's something
but
to
it does
at
a
least
lot.
be like, hey, you know, this isn't 1950s. Like you can have other food. You can wear other clothes. You know, you don't have to live like the Nazis, for God's sake.
Like, do you think we're going to give our mom and dad a heart attack if they come out and we just pamper them with love?
I think they're going to have the same shock that I had, where you don't quite understand it. You don't know that emotion anymore. And then
you're like, wait, why are tears rolling down my face?
And then suddenly all emotions hit you at once. You don't know what to do because it's like you're hit by a Mac 10 fucking bus, like, what? And
you can't stop it.
No.
Oh my God. Once I'm hit like by that, once I'm there, the thing is that it comes up even when I start to like with you, like even when you start to mention or talk about it, it's like, immediately goes anger. So you're like, I'm not going to go there. That makes me angry, but I'm very happy that I understand now that makes me angry because I know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's so cool. Jen, thank you so much. If I don't call you tomorrow, I'm going to kick my own ass in the fucking ass. She's very sweet. Okay. So now quickly, we're running out, guys. We're running out. I'm not saying we're running out. I'm saying I'm going to go as fast as I can through some of these quick, beautiful questions. Thank you guys so much for staying here for so long. I really didn't even know we were going on for 2 hours now. Like this.
Yeah, I didn't either until I looked up and I was like, whoa.
It was like that thing. You're like, your mom said you were here for 1.5 years. And you're like, I was there for 1.5 years. And your mom was like, no, it's only 6 months. You're like,
that's right.
It's like the opposite.
Time goes like, time is irrelevant when we're mentioning some of the shit that we've been through.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to scroll through these. A lot of them are amazing, supportive comments and stuff. I do want to let us go to sleep so that, we can live our lives and do the things we need to do and go to work
to pay the bills. Yep.
Yep. You're allowed to definitely donate. Do you have a donating site or link that people can donate to you, Liz?
It's the GoFundMe. I don't know which moderators are in here still or if they are.
Okay. I will look through if it's there, but if not, they can go to the Degraded Daughters YouTube, or you can go to Vanessa LaRose Instagram, and you can see everything, like all the little posts and details of what
All
you're
the
doing.
details. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
all, it's listed over everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you one quick question while I'm scrolling through this. In your, oh yeah, I was, no, we're not doing that. That's gonna be a whole what I was gonna say. So each one of the people that I've been on, oh, I'm so glad I'm coming back to this. They're like, Lara never finishes our thing. So episode 13 then will be like, if me and Liz come back and we talk about something else and the next thing or whatever, it'll be 13A, 13B, 13C. So I don't have to
make it easy.
like, yeah, it's as simple as that. When me and Liz are talking, or if it's anything about our parents and the gold base and all that, then we'll just make it 13A. Continue talking with Liz. Love it. I'm so glad that we finally got to meet and
to
that
actually
we're talking.
talk. Yes.
Yeah. And
I love
to be like, I cannot believe right now in 2023, our parents are at the right. And whatever they're doing right now to separate, it's just the amount of effort, if they really wanted to help the planet and everything, would be like, come out and do that, because the world could really use that. And so it's not only a crime that somebody's lives being taken advantage of and everything, but it's so much of a crime that they originally went into the Sea Org to help better the planet and save the world and better themselves and their children and everything. And they got hooked into their manipulative, purposeful, like fishing. They got hooked, and now they're here and they're stuck on this hook, and they're saying, no, I'm fine right here. I'm not in pain. But if you take me off this hook, I'm going to be in so much pain. So just leave me here.
We're taking them off the hook.
Literally. Okay. So I was going to ask you one more thing, before we go. I was going to say, with the DNA thing, do you catch yourself with your eyes? Do you find similarities for sure? I know that, when my brother saw your picture, my brother, I'm not talking about him right now, only little bits here and there. But when my brother and I talk and he says I can do whatever, I'll talk and say whatever. But when he saw you, he said, "Oh yeah, she looks like Bob Ferris."
I get told I look like,
he was
I'm
like
the spitting
a
image of
lot.
his sister.
Yeah, he was like a lot. He was like, wow. And that's so cute for my brother to, like, for me to see my brother saying that about you, about somebody he knew, because my brother was at the gold base.
That's amazing. Because for me, it's like, I have pictures and, but I was always like, especially when I took forensic anthropology, I'm like, I don't have your cheekbones, Mom. I don't have your jawline.
I got my mom's cheekbones for sure. These little shiny little cheekbones.
Yeah, and but I didn't have it, and I was like, maybe I am adopted, because you don't even have the same color skin, same color
I felt
blue
that
eyes.
way. The only reason I knew I wasn't, I went through a similar thing when I learned about what adopted, because Becky Hughes and my sister were good friends at the Ant Ranch, and my sister was telling me about an argument that Lindsay and Becky were having, saying that Lindsay was adopted. Like, she's like, Becky was saying, you're just adopted. That's why you don't even look like me and Greg or whatever. And I was like, is me hearing that going, what does that mean? That means that they adopted her, but they're not actually related to the parents that gave birth to them. And I was like, oh, so they wouldn't look the same. Like, it started to make a little bit of sense. And then I started to think, am I adopted? Because I'm so out ethics and so wild,
See, and for me,
I'm always in the wrong. Maybe I'm not part of this family. Maybe I was like, I don't know. I didn't understand that far. I just thought, maybe I'm adopted.
No, forensic anthropology is amazing and fucked me up at the same time, because I'm like, all the things that are hereditary, I don't have your lips, your smile. Like, are you really my mom? Because like, I get this vein in my center of my forehead that it's like, when I get like, hey, I'm excited, it's like pink, and you don't get that. You just get mad and angry.
Yeah.
But so it's nice to hear that I look like him.
Yeah, for sure. And there's definitely times I look at myself in the mirror and I go, "Oh, there's my mom's eyes," even though my mom's eyes are blue, like sky piercing blue. And my dad has these eyes. Daddy, hi, daddy. Look at my beautiful green hazel eyes you gave me. And I have my mom's cheekbones and my whole mom's structure, I think. And then I think I have my dad's nose for sure. Like my dad has this funny nose. No, cool nose. It's just like a weird, awkward nose. But and then the
I have
eyebrows, my mommy, like Jeff Hawkins actually said something saying like, "Oh my God, I'm watching you and you have like a split." He's like, "I can see your dad and I can see you in your face." It was very cute. Okay, what is this one? Lara, you're able to do Jenna. I imagine she wants it to be over, but I know how much. Jenna is like Hannah. She's with her children and her new life, and she's definitely supportive of everybody telling their stories and everything. I think that it's just she's very clear, I think, about like what happened. I have a family now. We're out. I'm not spending more of my time. I will be there on interviews and things when she wants to, but I have no idea. I'm making all this up, but I also feel like she's very sweet and shy and doesn't want to be like she doesn't need to be on TV. She wants to let her kids
live her life.
Let her kids
Be
live
the
their
mom we never
lives.
had.
Right. And let their kids live their lives like without all this crap. So yeah, who knows? But either way, I support her. I'm very happy. She helped me start thinking about a lot of stuff. And I was going through a lot of emotions too at the time, like kind of being like, "What are you talking about, Jenna? You are the pampered one." But also there were times, when we weren't. So, okay, this is for you, Liz.
Question, Liz, or at Liz, do you think it's possible actual human remains are buried near the place they made you dig the life-size hole? No, I wasn't thinking that other people had been buried there. I thought I was the only one that they were making me dig this hole and kept saying, you better fit in it. You better be able to fit in it. And no, I didn't think other people were buried there. I really thought I was the only one that this horrible shit was happening to, and just keep digging and don't get them upset.
Did that answer that, Paris Cashin? You're awesome. Thank you. Another crazy thing is that no one gets anything when they get old and sick. So people actually think it doesn't happen. Exactly. Because they don't report it. They die. Like my uncle. I didn't even finish the question or whatever, the statement. Or they get brainwashed to not care about their pain. It will be.
No, they feel
They do care. By the way, yeah, I was going to say, oh no. My mom very much snapped at me one time when I was like, "You never gave us a choice. It wasn't a choice to be at the ranch. It was, we have to be this." I was telling her something like this. Like, wow. Again, every time I go into these thoughts, it's like I can have a fucking 48-hour therapy session right now. I'm awake. Any therapist ready to stay up for 48 hours straight? But yeah, anyways, sorry. Yeah. They do know.
Yeah.
My mom yelled at me. Okay, that's what I was saying. She yelled at me when I was in the middle of one, and I wasn't even getting into the depths of it. It was when I was leaving my grandma's thing, and she said, "Do you think I'm a bad mom?" And that was so manipulative, because at that time I was like, "No," but I should have said yes. 100%. That's literally what I should have said.
Yeah, if we all had our shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
Anyway, so I didn't, but I was like, no. But it was so amazing to see how she how when I was talking to my therapist at the time, how she just whoosh turned the table right back to me. You're fucking up. You're interpolating an executive.
Yeah. Get your TRs in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So yeah. So they do care. Oh, the thing she yelled at me, she said, "Do you think I'm a bad mom? You don't think I cry every night?" She said that to me in uncontrollable sentence. You don't think I cry every night? And that
No,
could
I
have
don't
also
think you.
that could have also been manipulated.
Yep.
You're so funny, Liz. Literally, like, no, not enough. You need to cry fucking harder because you're literally
You gotta
making this.
feel something.
You're literally making this about you, and this ain't about you. I'm talking about me and how you let me be as a child.
Yep.
Like, it's so amazing, and it's so hard for us to yell at our moms or
Oh,
to
I've done
say
it like
how
once, and the
fucked
rest
up
of the
our
time I'm
mom is.
scared.
But even right, but even now to talk about it, there's times where I catch myself and I'm like, whoa, hey, maybe you don't need to be talking that much shit about your mom. But I'm like, I'm not trying to. And then I'm like, okay, I'm not trying. Mom, I don't hate you. I love you very much. I absolutely see what happened to you and our family and how this is going down.
Yep.
That's the thing. That's why you're going to gold. That's why you're doing all this. So
Yeah,
they do
I'm not
care.
stopping.
My mom does care. And that's what her response when she told me that, that's what made me even more like, fuck that. We're going to fucking, I was just like, no, I know this is true because my mom just got so interbulated about our conversation.
Yep.
Anywho, okay. Last, I think there's one or two, and then we're gonna jump it off. Little who claimed the cadet.org kids as dependents on tax returns each year.
But
You
how
must
about
live full
how,
time with parents that claims child tax credit each year. I mean,
I know the answer to that. They didn't file taxes. In order to file taxes, you have to make over a certain dollar amount, and $40 a week, $25 a week times 52 is just under that. So no, they didn't claim the child credit. They didn't even file taxes.
yeah.
And if you're listening to that IRS, you got about, go look it up. You'll not see any tax returns from them.
And they also, but the other thing is, they purposely only pay a certain amount because they don't. They want to do whatever taxing they have to do as the religion that they do. So that's it, because it's very small already. It's not like, anyways. Yeah. Okay. That answered that, Boo Boo Childs. Here's this. My oldest friend told me last time I saw her that she could see my mom as I didn't even say or look anything like her on that day. My oldest friend told me last time I saw her that she could see my mom as I didn't even say or look anything like her on that day. Exactly. I think I didn't. Basically, her oldest friend was saying, "Oh my God, I can see your mom in you." And she was probably saying, like, I didn't even look like it. But isn't that crazy? I can see. Yeah, I have a little sticky here that says my hands, my eyes, my hazel eyes that I got from my dad, and the blue eyes that my brother got from my mom, like the piercing blue eyes. But me and my brother look so similar, but just totally different. It's so crazy. I was going to, yeah. And the other thing is how much time my mom and the hours and efforts she definitely dedicates her life. And same with Bob to being at Gold and being so committed to their posts and their jobs and how much little time they give to even have a 5-minute argument. Mommy, let's have a 5-minute argument. I'd prefer that. I'd prefer that.
There's a part of me though that kind of wants to yell, get your TRs in if they start yelling. Like, I'm going to need you to get your TRs in.
Yeah. I hate that. That just like made me so annoyed. Or honey, or you're being a little banky.
Yeah.
You're being a little banky right now. Okay. Anyways, love you so much. Duchess said you skipped some. I know I did. I'm not going to sit here and poke out do you want me to? Do you need a little more squeeze to your, what's this? Hey, Mills might think this is icky. If so, they better get over it. It is not. This is about the period. It is natural just because they lucked out on something so magical, Liz Mom. Yeah. There's so many here, and I'm going to do Vanessa's chats, questions from last night and ours tonight and mix them into your live 10-hour stream on Saturday. So
Sweet.
if I miss some, I'm sorry, my little sweet angel babies. And thank you for letting me know, Duchess Diana, you sweet angel babies. All right. Love you all. Thank you, Liz. You're freaking awesome.
Absolutely.
We're totally doing this again. Would love for you to come to a Lara FM live show. If you guys want free tickets or anything, let me know. We'll be traveling. We will be taking Lara FM on a little Scientology tour soon. So, and meaning Scientology, wherever there's a Scientology building and there's a venue or a park like the Coachman Park in Clearwater, we will blow out the venue, have an amazing time, and make you forget what the fuck Scientology was ever doing in Clearwater or any of that. But we're going to be doing this everywhere. So if we need to do it in Hemet, we need to do it in Hemet. We'll be blowing up the shows. We love you all. We love you all. Liz, everybody, should they just go to Degraded Daughters?
They go to Degraded Daughters. I don't have the GoFundMe number memorized, unfortunately. Like
that's fine. That's fine. They can find it. There's so many.
They can find it on any one of the chats. Just go into any of them. You'll see the GoFundMe pop up for Liz's dad.
And here's my website. So if any of you guys have any questions, go to that. You can message me, email me on Instagram. You can email me or you can message me on Instagram. You can message me directly through any of the little channels in there. Super easy. I'm going to be posting it up on the IG and on Facebook and stuff like that. So if you have any questions, boom, there it is. We will see you all Saturday for
a long day.
10 hours supporting Bob Ferris and Liz
and learning new stuff.
Yep, learning new things and strengthening our love and palettes of actual intelligent information and education. And we appreciate you all that are watching. We love you so much. I'm going to write all your questions. We'll see you Saturday, 11 a.m. It starts and goes for 10 hours. So I'll be jumping on there as well. So come support and come get our motherfucking parents out of that gold prison base.
That's right. Smash the like. Don't forget to subscribe.
Thank you, Liz. Like that like button, subscribe, and share this video. We'll see you Saturday. Hasta luego, little baby chiquititos.